Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here again. Hello. It's time for the second part of the community time trial challenge, and I swear to God, what has my PC been doing this morning? So this prediction that's going on about the channel points, I vowed this morning that I was going to set up with enough time to get Beam launched, and I was going to have a car. I'm just going to make sure the controls are working because we had the 45 minutes of pain the last time with the controls not working. So I put my PC on at 10 o'clock this morning, 2 hours ago. Since then, it has wanted to update Adobe everything, Steam everything, Windows, some Windows update everything, all sorts of stuff going on. Right? By the time we got to about 20 to 12, I was like, right, okay, I've got a little bit of time. There's a 400 megabyte Assetto Corsa update that he's doing. I'm streaming Assetto Corsa this evening. 400 megabytes. How long will that take? Like 2 minutes? When it came to patching it onto the PC, it was telling me it was going to take over 1 year to patch this 400 megabyte thing onto my computer. What are you doing? How is that possible? So I've then restarted the PC, and it means that I've not had time to test whether the controls will work. So there you go. I don't believe my computer either. God knows. Anyway. So the leaderboard at the end of play on Friday looked a little bit like this. Basman's at the top by 4.3 seconds over Viking Cop and Trunk. Those three definitely the standout cars so far. We've got a good fight for fourth. I don't know what's going on with that formatting, why they're outside of those lines, but we'll just live with it. Doof in fourth. The last car we saw on Friday, just pipping Singe and Chaos Subaru in there as well. Sora was very consistent in seventh, but couldn't quite break the 2-minute barrier. Gengar had loads of power in the zigzag Mamba, but we just could not apply it to the road. And finally, Nugget was slow and deliberately slow. On the SSD thing, I will buy a new SSD like next month, but I've been moving house this month and I have needed some money to do that. So I will buy an SSD the moment the financial situation allows me to do so. It's just started snowing outside, just to really add some spice to this. What can we look at next? Well, reminder, got the drone camera out to have a look at the course that we were doing last time. By the way, Nugget, in order to make everything work this morning, I just straight up uninstalled F1 2021. Decided I had enough of that. So that's now off the system for a while. But we've got 8 cars still to go. And there's all these prizes to hand out still, remember. We've got Hummersepp's up today. Steakmittens is up today. Dan is up today as well. Hindus, VanOnBass, Kaz, Spoon, and Fozz Dog. Not in that order. I've already signed up for Dirt Rally Season 4. Don't worry. That's all sorted. So we'll be good. The first car should be running in about 5 minutes time, and it will be Fozz Dog to go first today. Rescheduled from Friday. No idea if the controls will work. I suppose we can have a little bit of a reminder of the prize pools. So, of course, fastest time, 750k to the fastest time that we get of anyone. And Basman's looking good, looking very, very good for that 750k of not real money, sadly. The popular vote has already been won. We've seen that Trunk's car won that and Nugget was third, but that second place, 100k, hasn't been... We haven't seen the car that's won that yet. And the judge's choice we've kind of seen most of that wrapped up, to be honest. So not really much to play for there. In terms of the mystery prizes, well, we're still on for not last. Currently, Gengar is in second last position. So he's on for that 75k bonus. And of course, the Panther engine is the quickest at the moment in Basman's Voom Voom nostalgia. So we will see if that engine remains the quickest, then all of the other engines will be up for the engine development fund, which will be 100 grand to the fastest vehicle using each of those engines. And we've had some good runs for the consistency award as well. Quite a few have picked up 100k then as well. And a few on 50k. Only Chaos Subaru so far has had a car that's not made it to the end of the course all 3 times. And really that was largely just because it was really difficult to do, actually. That car was perfectly nice, but just a little bit wobbly on the old handling. Okay, so what do we think? Shall we begin to get on with this? We've got 8 more cars to go. We've got to see if the controls work. There's a prediction in play for that. I'm just booting up our first car of the day, which would be that of Fozz Dog and the Hillclimb course as well. So while that is happening, I think it's probably time to introduce it. Just waiting, press the right button on my thing. Laggy. The Royal Mail special delivery is basically a complete meme from Fozz Dog. I've known him for about 20 years or so, as has Dan. I think we both knew that he would plump for something like this. It's got the Bulldog engine in it, sorry. So it'll have a little bit of grunt behind it. The difference is, if you look at the fatness of the front wheels compared to the back wheels, is the thing about this vehicle in particular. It's got a lot of front wheel. It's got very little in the way of rear wheel. It is front wheel drive. It also, incredibly, has won first place in the judges' choice for comfort with a score of 44.2, which is honestly absolutely incredible. It's not. Is it a locker? It'll haunt your dreams. It'll haunt your nightmares, I imagine, for the foreseeable. But we will have to see how it gets on the course. So here we are, back at the course. It's a big boy, isn't it? I'll give it that much for free. I'm just going to make sure that I've got everything set up that needs setting up before we inevitably try to drive this car and find out that the controls don't work. There's the wheel kicking off because they didn't have G-Hub launched. So I want to set that to that. Cool. Okay. Can we look around this car? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will give it a go. We've had the same problem, everybody. I've got no life in the vehicle. Ah, unbelievable. You cannot. Well, that means I've got to restart the game. Does that mean I have to restart the game and remap all of the controls again? Like, I knew this would happen because my PC just refused to play bowl this morning. Like, it is unbelievable. Right, well, bear with me. Let's go back to the filler material screen. Like, it's just unbelievable. Okay. So I needed to go to documents, delete that folder, and then launch the game again. I genuinely haven't touched it. Have not touched it since Friday. Immediately broken. Wheel was plugged in before I started the game. Everything was good. Or so we thought. Now I'm going to have to rebind all the controls. I think that's actually set up how I want that set up. It is. Okay. Is my activate nitrous button set up? It is. Okay, we might get away with that. Or we might not get away with it. Let's just go into free roam. And let's just boot up a car. And let's just make sure it works. Okay, this default car is moving. I put on the brakes, and then the car is moving again, and then I put on the brakes, and then the car is moving again. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Now, to load up the Hillclimb track, and discover that it doesn't work again, because my life is pain. On a separate note, while this is loading up, so I did have the snow is really coming down outside now. I did have a noise suppression filter on the other night, and the reason for that is, well, the negative side of the noise suppression thing is that when my voice gets loud, it'll probably cut out a bit, which is a bit of a pain. But the flip side to that scenario is if we don't have the noise suppression in, you'll hear all of the noise from the wheel, which is really, really quite grim. Anyway, the special delivery is on the line. Will it move? It will move. It's, oh dear. Oh, it's a bit slippery. It's a bit very slippery. Oh God. It will not go in a straight line. That's not much better. We'll try from this. Jesus Christ. Nugget, you might not be last here. This thing's got NOS in it as well. But no, it doesn't have NOS in it. Good, I cannot. You see the power? I'm at like 20% throttle here. Let's floor it. It is a handful. I don't know how this has scored so highly on comfort, because I am not having a comfortable time driving this car. It's almost as if having really fat front wheels and shopping trolley rear wheels, as you can see, probably, maybe, on the back of this thing, is not proving to be a good combination. That isn't much better. Okay. Let's reset that to the start and try again. I don't know if I'll get this to the finish. sitting about 30% throttle here. Oh my god, it's not so much snap oversteer as it genuinely handles like a shopping trolley. But with like a 2.4 litre engine in it. If you can imagine what that could possibly feel like. It actually, I think it's still faster than Nugget's car. But we'll just trundle along here at something like 40. It's just immediately in a tree. Okay. Time for round 3. Well, Basmans, this is one that I think we can guarantee is not going to beat you. Oh my god. It's got just an unbelievable amount of power. And it's got no idea how to apply it at all. It's front wheel drive and it's got... How do you build a front wheel drive car with this much oversteer? How is that possible? I mean, the 2 rear wheels, I think, are essentially just like, they're nothing more than stabilizers, like you would get on a kid's bike. They're really offering me not. It's almost like driving a unicycle, for want of a better, just with some stabilizers on the back. Nearly rolled it. No, it's front wheel drive. Which is why the front wheels are so fat. All the power is coming from the front wheel. I think it's front wheel drive. You certainly put it on the form as front wheel drive. It's as far as we've got. And genuinely, I can't read chat at this point because taking my eyes off the road for a second throws me immediately into a tree. Honestly, this is no worse than Yodel. Yeah, it might well be set up for rear-wheel drive, actually. I mean, I'm dreading to think how it's going to handle these bumps. It didn't reach the bumps. Oh my god. Right, back to the start line. So Fozz Dog often pops into chat, drops me a Twitch Prime sub and posts a picture of a squid in chat, and this thing pretty much handles like that squid that he so often posts in chat. Oh. Not so much Tokyo Drifters. We're going to do a whopping 45 miles an hour up the hill. There's the squid. The moment I turn, it's immediate correction, like full-on power oversteer the other way. Somehow we're still maneuvering roughly in the right direction. It must be rear-wheel drive, because it's clearly got more power than those rear wheels can handle. This is the same engine that was in Trunk's car. And Trunks was absolutely planted, so it's not an issue with the engine. Almost certainly an issue with the design, which who would have seen that coming looking at it? relatively comfortable 30 through that section. This could be an absolute shoe-in for the Not Last award, this. Just got to get it through here. Oh. And then over the bump. It really shows the beauty of this competition. You can enter anything you want. And I will have to attempt to get it to the finish line. It might be about to rip my arms off. Onto the bridge. More oversteer. More trees. More trees. Come on, just a couple of corners to go. Gonna slide slowly towards the barrier. And that was that much oversteer at 18 miles an hour. There's the finish line. We are gonna make it. It's a 2 minute 43. Which is something, because that's a minute faster than Nugget went. And that car was straight up undrivable. And yet a full minute faster than Nugget's car. However, I would suggest it's going to be quite difficult for me to hit the consistency prize here. Because now that we've made it once, we've got to start pushing this thing. I'm pushing it. Get it in there, come on. Is the rear wing helping? It's hard to say. Is that a... Oh my god. Like, the amount of having to fight the steering at 30 miles an hour. I don't know if you can really catch that on the webcam. How much I'm having to fight this thing. It is absolutely absurd. Like, it's impressively bad. I think it's one of those things where I would have assumed it wouldn't be possible for a car to be quite as bad as this. Like, certainly in terms of performance. Obviously, you can do what Nugget did and just stick an engine in that's from the 1910s, but to have produced something with handling quite as spectacularly poor as this is an achievement. Like, if you look at the steering wheel in the bottom left, if you can catch that just beneath the camera, that's the steering input I'm putting in. You can see it's a slight touch to the right, and then a huge steer to the left to catch the immediate, like literally immediate oversteer. Ow. How am I not plummeting off that cliff? I've got no idea. I'm having to fight the car as much as I do in dirt rally, and I'm doing 30 miles an hour. This is absolutely unbelievable. Welcome along, Mordecai. I'll explain what we're doing in a second if you've not been here on Friday or earlier on today. But, my god, this car is so unbelievably difficult to drive. Can we improve on that time? Down in a second gear. Oh. Over the line, 236. So, the Royal Mail Special Delivery across the line in a 2:36, which is 7 seconds quicker. So, somewhat unbelievably, there is a chance. He's not on, Fozz Dog's not on for the less than 5 second consistency prize, but in unbelievable scenes, it is still possible for us to get 3 times within 10 seconds in this car. So, for Mordecai's benefit, this is a time trial challenge where I've asked people from my Discord community to build some cars for me to drive, and this is the latest effort that we have to come up with. Interestingly, the Royal Mail badge is only on one side. Do I have to drive from this camera? Possibly. We'll have to have a go from this angle, won't we? I mean, I have absolutely no idea. Okay, that wasn't amazing. If I know Fozz Dog, he'll be happy with how bad this is. He'll have been trying to make my life as miserable as possible. Okay, a bit more speed into there. The golden rule is, if there's a right-hander, I'm turning left for the most part. The thing is, Biting Cop, it's quite difficult to make it go in a straight line for a long enough period of time, then get it to take off. We've had some incredibly good cars. This is good in its own little way. Oh, that steering isn't amazing, it has to be said. We might even be missing a wheel here. Okay. That camera angle's not really worked out the way I wanted it to. So Dan, you were telling me there's a node feature in this game that allows me to like drag parts around. What's the button for that? As I grab the Royal Mail. Control. Hold control. And then what? That's not doing a lot, unfortunately. Or shift. Shift isn't doing a lot either, I'm afraid to say. Might be because it's an automation car. Don't know if that's the case. Anyway, we should reset this run and have another go. Is it attempt 8? I feel like this is attempt 8. There's a maximum of 10 attempts or 3 complete attempts. So it turns out letting it tick over on low revs higher gear doesn't really do much. It's definitely a handling problem. I don't think that's the most controversial statement I've ever made, that there's a handling problem with this car. Ow. Oh dear. Attempt 9. Attempt 9 with the steering wheel straight. Remember, this car won first prize for comfort. First prize. What was that prediction? Was that prediction around whether this car would go fastest? Well, automation, like, it's got some formula in there to determine the comfort values and whatnot of the car. It must have lovely seats inside, is all I'm saying. Because the driving experience is... would I say I'm getting the hang of it? This felt fairly smooth. The brakes are pretty good, but then it's not going massively quickly in the first place. Whoa! Ow! That was just on a straight. It was out of nowhere. God damn it! Right, one more attempt. This is the last attempt. And then alas, after this attempt, the Royal Mail special delivery will be put to bed. Will it appear in round 2? Well, that'll be up to Fozz Dog. Alternatively, will Royal Mail be able to come up with something even memeier than this? Because the last go, but oh, hang on, the engine's dead. Oh. Well, that about sums that up, doesn't it? Have I tried driving it in reverse? I haven't, actually. Although it feels like I am. Ugh. How can that be so understeery? Oh, there goes the rear wing! honestly, that's really improved the handling. Rest in peace, special delivery. Rest in peace. Right, that, therefore, wraps up Fozz Dog's attempt. So, congratulations on at least building something that got to the finish, I suppose. But we've got oil starvation now. But there we go. We'll be a 236.7. And it will be a fail on the consistency is key front. So as the special delivery lies here, awaiting its engine is now starved of oil. So that's a shame. We can have a look at the leaderboard. And it puts Fozz Dog in 9th place, which means that he is now in position. In fact, no, he's not in position for the not last prize because the car didn't make it to the end of the course 3 times. So, of course, you have to make it to the end 3 times to be able to win that particular prize. And that won't be the case for the special delivery. So Gengar still in for that not last 2nd place situation. Fozz Dog will have to come back next time, I'm afraid. Cheers, Nugget. Appreciate it. Okay. We should probably move on to the next car. We could have spent all day driving that car. Who is next? Oh, Spoon is next. Okay. Let me load up that video. Right. I thought this was about to get easier. Yep, just when you thought it couldn't get any more problematic for me. Spoon turns up with a 3-wheeler. The Spoon Unreliant Robin. It's got a lot of knots in the back of it. It's 3-wheel rear-wheel drive. Has not scored very well on comfort, as you might suspect, looking at it. And this is an import. This is the only imported car. So this one wasn't designed in automation. This one was actually, it's available by default in BeamNG. So we'll have to see how it gets on. Of course, the problem with 3-wheel is it's very, very likely to tip over. Here it is on the start line. I suppose all we can really do is give it a go. Oh, cockpit view. Oh my god. Okay, it's got a little bit of understeer, but it's only got 1 front wheel, so you might suspect that. Get in. Well, I'm gonna have to activate the NOS up this hill, aren't I? The NOS is activated. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. I'm pretty sure the front wheel's off. Okay, with the NOS, that became a lot of a handful. Like the cockpit view, though. We're going to stick with that. Oh, it's got so much understeer. Oh my god. Oh! I don't know if Reliant Robins are meant to go this quickly. Ugh. Got away with that one. It doesn't like this long left-hander. Okay, you can actually put the beans down a bit more than I thought. Oh, just the problem is the moment you try and turn and do that, it just immediately tries to tip over. I mean, it's definitely going to be faster than the Fozz Dogs if I can get it to the line. We've still got the bumpy bit to come around here. Oh, God. This becomes an actual corner with 3 wheels. Oh, oh no. It didn't like that bump. Ah! It's okay. It's fine. Okay. 214. 214.6. It's got a time, and it is slower than Gengar, quicker than Fozz Dog, which is interesting because that puts it into what would be second last place territory. He seems to fight today so far, but he's going to be over second last rather than first. But maybe that's fine. Is that wheel centered? Let's find out. Oh my god! With the NOS, it is just absurd. I'm going to suggest they use the false 12 for Dirt Rally. It's the bit it doesn't like. Ease off a bit through there. Oh, steady. Okay. Come on. Yikes. Oh, taking off a bit there. What's this bump? We're just using that railing permanently as part of that corner now, I think. Come on, no! No! Oh. Oh no. Well, it's broken. Proper Dick Dastardly move there, into the finish line. I think we can get this thing under 2 minutes. Genuinely. There's a different technique to driving it because you've got to prepare for the fact that you've got one less wheel than you would expect. But it's certainly, from a perspective of a three-wheeler, the performance is better than I thought it would be. Oh. Like, I assumed with this level of power it would do this immediately every time and tip over, but we survived that. Oh, steady. See that bump on the road was coming. Use the railing. Yeah, it's fine. .204. 204. Well, that was like 10 seconds quicker, wasn't it? 204.0, it's just inside. It was a 214.7, basically, 6.9. That's a 204.9. So it's technically still within 10 seconds. But if I was to improve any more, I've got like 2 tenths per second really to play with. But a 204 means that that is now faster than Gengar. So it's gained another place. I call that a dead attempt. The weird thing is, when you crash like that, you're actually crashing the roof of the car. The real shame is that in automation, the one thing you can't change is the number of wheels. It has to be a four-wheeled car. I know Sora was wanting to enter a six-wheeled car originally. Alas, it doesn't have that power yet. I love the steam from the engine when I apply the NOS. This has been really, really fun. Again, I think a better driver than me, who didn't do that quite so much, I think could definitely get this thing up this hill in less than 2 minutes. The barrier. Oh no, so wobbly. Look at the G-force meter. Ah, 201.4. Honestly, I might have done it. I might have done it if it wasn't for that little incident at the end. .4. Good fun. That's actually genuinely up there in terms of one of the most fun cars I've actually taken up the hill. So, good choice there, Spoon. Well done. Here's the leaderboard. Spoon up into 8th place. If I'd found about half a second or so, could even have nicked 7th from Sora, and a spend of only 200k for Spoon. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So there you go. 3 wheels is the future. Who's next? Next up is Kaz. I think we're on about 15 minutes or so behind schedule here. That's not the end of the world. Guess the question is, are we going to get any cars today that aren't meme machines? We did get 3 valid times. Yeah, he wasn't within 10 seconds for all 3, but there were 3 valid times. Anyway, here's Kaz. What's not to like? It's a big pickup truck. It's actually one of the few vehicles to have used a 21st century chassis as well for that pickup truck. The whale engine means that you'll not be able to hear me speak over the course of this thing. And this is the only car to have taken the randomize my performance options on the setup screen as well. You'll probably be able to hear it whirring away already in the background. This one potentially disappointingly non-meme, but we will see how it gets on. It's made of carbon. It's loud. You might want, if you're wearing headphones, steady on a second here. The wheel wasn't straight. I figured it wouldn't be. It felt like it wasn't. It's not bad. Brakes are a little shy. I tell you what, it's really smooth. I've just been driving a Reliant Robin. Oh, that's a bit under theory. That's into a tree. Okay. Well, tradition is to crash the first run. But that isn't bad. That was not a bad effort, that. There's potential in this. I think this will be challenging the group that involves Doof, Stinge, and Chaos Oobaloo. That's where we're aiming for this thing. Oh, it's also got NOS. So when we get to the top of the hill, we'll get that NOS going. Listen to that whale thing. If I know Dan, he'll have the volume turned right up right about now. That's actually really quick. That's really quick. That is quicker than I expected that to be. So Trunk was a 1:43.0. So that is immediately into 4th place. It's first run done. Did cost 495,000 this one, so you'd hope for good performance, but it's immediately about 5 seconds quicker than Trunk. I need to find about 3 seconds to be able to challenge Viking Cop and Trunk. Let's see if we can do it. I can absolutely nail it out of the slow corners. Oh, come on. Quicker. it's a 43-4. Ooh. Now. So it's still 4th place. It's 4/10 back from Trunk. Four tenths to find for replacing the top 3. That's oh, that is spicy. That is much. So where it's really struggling is there's just some of those faster corners. It's a little understeery, whereas Trunk's car I could kind of point it and it would go where I wanted to go immediately. I think it's probably just the weight of the pickup truck that's the problem. But you know, if I can find the right line through some of these, I reckon we can do this. That was too much. Yeah, that was too much. Alright, have another go. Definitely loses time in this bit. Got some air. Well, we got to push the limits if we want to find out if we can do this. It's in there. The time's in there. Is it attempt 7 now? So we've got some attempts to play with. Broken the steering arm. Let's try to carry a bit more speed in there. Come on, we can do this. I'm I'm just trying to explore at the top of the course where I can find a bit more time. A bit through there. Oh, it's a 43.6. Not quite. Not quite. But a really good effort. It was good fun to drive that. I just couldn't quite get the end of the course spot on. But anyway, all 3 times are within 5 seconds of each other. So there's still a bonus for that. And I think, honestly, I imagine Kaz will be as surprised as anybody to see the Qazcdewsx. I think that's German for suffering, possibly. P4. And the highest whale contender. There's one to go before you, Hummersepp. And that is Steakmittens. Now, random, there you go. So, for those who know Steakmittens, do we think Steakmittens will have submitted a serious car? Or do we think Steakmittens will have submitted a meme? That is the question for you all now. Here it is. Meatmobile is here, and it looks glorious. The full 500,000 spend on this sports 4-wheel drive whale packaged car. Honestly, this might go a little better than we expect it to go, and hasn't scored well with the judges, has to be said, but it is the Steak & Sons Meatmobile. It's going to be loud again. It's the whale engine. How much is the hot dog on the top going to imbalance it, I wonder? Here it is in all its glory. And I suppose the only thing left to do here is give this a go. Oh, it's quick. It's very similar actually to Qazcdewsx. Steak, my friend, it's fast. It's a little less happier in the corners than Qazcdewsx was. Probably because it's carrying around a massive hot dog on the top. I don't like that. Oof. That is somewhat busted at the front end. And a sauce though on the roof. Magnificent. Right. Tradition done. Time. Go again. I'd say it feels very similar to Qazcdewsx's car, 2 wheels. It's just obviously the weight transfers a little worse because of the fact we're carrying around a big hot dog on the roof. It's worth pointing out as well that this car would have been 5k cheaper than Qazcdewsx's car, but for paying for the hot dog on the roof, which cost 10 grand. Steak will say was worth every penny. Oh, it did not like the bumps there. Oh, what's happened there? The meaty has forsaken us. What on earth has happened here? That is a dead boy. Attempt 3. I think it's the exhaust, yeah. I don't know how the exhaust is hanging through the side of the car like that, but... gear. 180 degrees of lock on. Meatmobile with a 44.6. 44.6. It's quick. And it's in direct competition with Kaz. So it is, with that time, it is 1.2 seconds slower than Kaz's best time. Which means that we are 1.8 seconds or so away from a podium. Can we get meat on the podium? Steak is remarkably good. Get what you pay for with the 500k spend. Oh, understand do that bit. A 44.1. That was quicker, but not quick enough. About half a second. It is so close. What do we need to find now? We need to find about 7/10. Well, there was maybe 7/10 on that bit where we understeered through two of those corners. I don't know whether it's got enough in it to beat Trunk. It would take something pretty special to do that. Everything we got here. Whoa! Well, we pushed it. We're definitely pushing it. Ugh. We go again. So much here. I'm gonna lump that hot dog around the hairpins. Full send in the Meatmobile. Cross the line. It's a 43-0. It's beaten Trunk. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. Here's your leaderboard. Look at the difference between Steakmittens and Trunk. I assumed no car would be able to get into that gap between Viking Cop and Trunk. And the Meatmobile has slotted straight in there, like a hot dog. Top 3. Unbelievable. Wow, wow, wow. Well, we've got just 4 cars to go. We've just had 2 4-wheel drive monsters. And next up, it's Hummersepp. Would you believe it? It's another 4-wheel drive car. But this time, with the Gorilla engine that you can probably hear whirring away already. Inspired very much by the A-Team. But it is high ride. I think it's fair to say. It looks a little goofy, actually, sprung so highly. This one was entered after the deadline. Which meant that it was disqualified from the judges' choices categories, but it's still up for everything else. So the Almond Motive RV2000, and boy oh boy, it's an absolute unit. So this is the same engine that Gengar used, so it's basically competition with Gengar for the for that particular prize. Anyway, shall we give this a run? Oh, it's springy. Oh my god. Oh dear. The weight transfer when I hit the brakes is absolutely astonishing. Oh, this is a good view though, look at this. The handling's weirdly okay, as long as you floor it. Did not like that bumpy section. So we've rather cremated the rally van into that barrier. Well, this is quite a machine. It's just so unbelievably bouncy on the suspension. It's, yeah, remarkable. It's got NOS as well. Oh, the rally van's a goer. Power slide, rock. Rear wings come off. Well, I pity the fool that has to try and beat the meatmobile in this. It's really different to drive compared to the last two, which were quite stable in the four-wheel drive setups. This is really unstable, but you can kind of power drift it through by just flooring the throttle. But again, oh, it's over again. Oh no. I say you can floor the throttle and sort of power drift its way around. It'll hang on, but it's so you've got to get the car turned in to the point of reaching that point where you can floor it. It's quite difficult to do. Demonstrated the understeer there, but then there I can just nail it. Really hates this corner. Oh. That's it. Oh, no way! Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Oh, we can get it there. We can get it there. It just takes a bit of... I mean, that four-wheel drift out of the long left was something else. But that understeering right corner, it just wanted nothing to do with. Didn't like. Here comes the rally van, first time. 147.2. Okay. 147.2. So that is kind of awkwardly in between those two groups. The front runners are sort of on a 43, a sort of mid 43 was Kaz's time. And then the group behind that with Doof at the front is on a sort of late 51, early 52 sort of time. So 147 is bang in the middle of that group. So what remains to be seen now is, can we improve that? There's a few bits where it behaves quite erratically. What I would say is it's kind of, it reminds me most of Chaos Uberlu's car, but a bit more controlled. But it's a little too unpredictable. I've got the NOS on. Big. Never mind. Yeah, so I'm trying that four-wheel drift around the left, and the back end of it just keeps catching the barrier. I think this is attempt 6. Could be attempt 7. Whoa. Too late on the brakes there. Too late on the brakes there. Amazing. Right, come on. It just, on a different course, this might do really well. It's a little too big for this course. Nosedived at the ground there. Come on. Ah! That corner is so hard to get right. Right, we need to start getting this to the finish line now. Get out of here. What happened to the brakes? Rock on the inside. Oh, it hates that corner. 49's a bit slower, unfortunately. Quite a bit slower. But it is within 5 seconds. Oh, right. Only got one more shot. I think this is attempt 10. So for Hummersepp, it's, do you want me to just get it within 5 seconds, or do you want me to go for a faster time here? That is the question. I mean, look at it wobble just as I rev it on the line. Two wheels there. Didn't like the bump on the bridge. Oh, understeer central. Come on. Well, the consistency was there. The speed wasn't quite for Hummersepp. So you do get the all within 5-second bonus. But it was a little bit too erratically behaved to really start challenging up at the front. It does sit in that gap, like I said, between the top 5. Basman still with that 4.3 second lead and only 3 cars to go. The Wobbly Mobile, the Arm & Motive RV2000 into 6th place, which is okay. That's not too bad. And it's a top Gorilla engined car as well. Right. 3 to go. It wasn't wobbly enough. We will work on that. Oh, Lord. Right. Next up is Hindus. And Hindus's car looks a little bit like this. Well, it's somewhere between a London Taxi convertible, a hot rod, and something else, but it's got 3 lots of flames on it and a Panther engine to boot. Comes in at 370k, which is relatively cheap, actually. Just missed out on the practicality thing, the top 3. But we will see how the Yo-Yo Special Edition from Clan Rodders Hot Rods gets on. Here it is on the line. Convertible option taken. Everything's been either a complete meme or off-road today. So I'm probably not used to what a sports car actually feels like now. Bit laggy off the line. It does have NOS to play with this one. Not bad. The ESC kicked in there, cost us a little bit of power, so we'll turn that off for the next attempt. Dead on power after those hits, so we will get a bit more of a feel for it and then bin the car on this run. Oh, I wasn't actually intending to do that there. Ow. Okay. Everything's fallen off, ever. What I was going to say was, I think it's Control and Q. Change it to Sport mode. It felt stable up until we got into the really slow corner. Right now, I don't see any reason why this can't challenge that top 5. Little bit of oversteer in there, but it's not too bad. Carry speed do there. Kind of the first car to be able to do that today. Oh. Oh, I thought I'd held it. I really thought I'd held that one. Shame. That would look sick. Squirrely bits. Better. This is where it lost its mind last time. It's not bad. I don't think it's Basman's quick. But it's just prone to a little bit of that. Over the bumper doom. It's pretty good over there. 2 wheels. And into a ditch. The first car to do that. So now it lives here. On what? I think we found a dirt road actually. Look at that. Oh, well. It's capable of being quick. It's not the easiest one. Keep pointing the right way. It's lovely in the slow speed stuff like that. Just at this higher speed stuff, it gets a little bit... Ooh, the tail starts going the wrong way. Panther hockle as we come off the power. That was better. Ooh, wasn't happy out of there. Lovely. Little lift over there after the accident last time. Oh! Oh, no way! God damn it. That's so frustrating. Because, man, across the across the bridge there. Problem with the chair again, you're right. So we've got to focus on getting this thing to the line now. Well, it was stipulated in the rules that you had to consider the driver. Right. Here's the deadly bit. Oh, that was good. $45-1. Okay. Yeah, that feels about right. That feels like about the ballpark of where this this car is. So 45-1 puts us what? Between Qaz and Hummersepp. So it's P6 for the time being. But can I find 2 seconds? I need to find 2 seconds to take a place on the podium, and this is attempt 7. We've got 4 more goes to do this. Bring the NOS into play now. Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I might be dead. So that's the problem I'm having. The moment I try to push to that extent, the talent runs out. I'm in neutral there, which is not the ideal gear to be in. Full fender modes are available. I think that's the order I'm under from Hinders here. Ugh. 2 more goes. Don't know if the wheel's straight on this one. Dan, I think you'd love to have a go in this one. Come on, come on. Dead. Man, it's so on the edge. It's so on the edge in that high speed stuff. This is the last attempt. I've only made it at the line once, which that surprised me actually. Come on. Oh, it gets away from me so much in that last corner, but we held it that time. It's a 47-1, which was not quicker, I'm afraid. So, Behinders P6 just beats Hummersepp there on a 145.155. There's the standings. As it look now, there's 2 cars to go, which means Basman's is guaranteed a podium now. Can't do any worse than 3rd. But is anyone going to be able to beat that 138.6? There's a huge bunch of cars, Viking Cop all the way through to Hummersepp, really, within about 5 seconds of each other. It's very competitive. But Basman's has a hell of a buffer at the front. 2 to go. And next up is Dan. Here it is, the ALF Retriever. The only car we've seen so far with the Wasp engine. So we've gone for a different approach here. And trust me, Dan has painstakingly agonized over how to build this thing. Proper try hard at it. We've gone for the lighter engine and the lighter chassis in the hope with the sports 4-wheel drive that this thing will be absolutely rapid. So it is down on power, but will it make up for that in the corners? That's what we have to find out here. Also, second prize this one in the popular vote, so it picks up bonus points for that. Chance to have a look at it. Might be worth it. I don't know if there's any mods around. Maybe do a prediction on this one. Maybe a quick 30-second prediction before we get underway. But yeah, Dan properly was agonizing this way and that about which approach he wanted to take to this one. Let's give this a go. Oh wow. So it is lacking top end speed, but I can carry the speed quite considerably. It is rapid. grippy as well. But this is going to be a Basman's killer. That Wasp engine. Struggling with the hill. Definitely struggling with the hill. Much like Basman's car, I can point it where I want and it will go. Got it to see what it's like on these bumps. Oh, it's taken off. It's got a tank slapper. Yeah. We've got to avoid the bumps. It was genuine tank slapper, that. Traditions. Valtteri Bottas meme. Right, Dan's going to want me to focus now because this is there for the taking. Don't want to make mistakes like that. Between gears on the left-hander. I've got to go full send, it is Dan. I say it's able to carry the speed so well. Despite its lack of power, it's making up for it. I have to head to the right around the bumps here. Because it's so small, again, I can just point it where it needs to be. Send it in there. But it is quite a bit slower, isn't it? Look at the time. The 46.0. So it is quite, the initial run is quite a bit slower. So it is feeling that lack of power, but it's certainly able to compete despite having a much cheaper engine with some of those cars. About a second behind Hinders at the moment. So I think the only approach I've really got here is to just absolutely send this, no braking or anything. He's got a time on the board now. It can do it. The Talon's going to run out somewhere here. I think it's the only car in 5th gear in this part of the circuit. Send. definitely carrying more speed this time. We need the third gear out of there to 43.9. Okay, so we did find a chunk of time. $143.984. Puts it ahead of Hinders, but it's half a second off Qaz's pickup truck. Right. I'm feeling the pressure a bit now to send this and then some. It's so different to all of the other cars. I really like the approach Dan's taken with this, actually. Right then, here's the bit that matters. Everything we've got over the line. 42.5. Oh. That is a time. And I'm afraid this is what it does to the leaderboard. Dan into second place. 4/10 quicker than Viking Cop. The 42.5 with just a Wasp engine. And all of those times, I can update that actually. All of those times are within 5 seconds of each other as well. The first one of 46 it was. So it's a full bonus there. That, considering the money spent, if you look at the money that Dan spent compared to those around him, 490k at the top, 500k for the two cars behind him, just 330k. So all the potential for that to be doing very, very well when it comes to the leaderboard, because of course the most money is the winner here, and that means we've only got one car left to go. And the question is, are we saving the best until last? The last car to go is VanOnBass, who is one of the drivers who's been in both seasons of the FRS Division 5 commentary that we've done, me and Nugget have done. Very popular. We like VanOnBass, and he's entered, well, I guess we'll show you what he's entered. This is the Frisky Gerbil. Midfield Racing's Frisky Gerbil Panther engine is sports 4-wheel drive. We've gone for the old style, almost Volkswagen Golf from the 80s approach here. 2.8 on comfort means, he stripped everything out of this to try and save weight, give it more speed, more power, double intake, quad exhaust. There's a lot going on there. The full $500,000 spent. And this is what it looks like. It's the Panther engine. Can't drive it from that view. That is a view I probably won't use, all things being equal. Can the Frisky Gerbil do it? Can I get a place on the podium? Is Basman's time of a 1:38 matchable here? Should we find out? Traction control there killed us, so we'll get that turned off. Here's what I'd say. It handles like Dan's, but it's got the power of Basman's car. And now it's dead. Few mods we need to make there. Most importantly, putting it in the sport mode. There is nitrous we can bring in as well. Tell you what, it has this is the contender, this one. This is a serious contender. Oh, it's just no good on the brakes. The saving grace of Basman's might be that this thing is just no good on the brake pedal. Ow. Goes exactly where I want it to go. The bumps, it's not amazing. Oh, it's on two wheels, it's out of control. And it's in the wall. Man, this is going to be close. The speed I can carry through turn 1 is remarkable. Remember, it's the full $500,000 spent. It needs to beat Dan. Because of the amount of money that Dan spent on his compared to this. Get the apex of that. Again, it handled that bump all right. We'll get it thrown in there. I think it's going to smash it. It's going to absolutely smash it. It is a 135.3. Wow. We've got a winner. Just absolutely incredibly quick. That car has almost killed the drama. It was too quick. 135.384. Last car. Last car. Give it another go. I mean, I didn't even use the NOS. I mean, it just immediately does anything I would want it to do. Except brake. Who needs brakes when you're carrying this much speed? Oh god, that's you, Jackson. That is a big one. That is the risk. Well, I'm going to give this one more go, but because we know it's the winner, after that we'll just wrap up the final scores for you. Oh, it can be consistent, yes. Good point. We do need to do all three. I mean, for consistency, you're almost asking me to do 3 record times. Ow. I mean, ow. So I think actually the double whammy for BeamNG here is that this thing uses the same engine. It's also Panther powered. Not that it would have mattered with Panther definitely being the winning engine. But if it was using some different power than Panther, then BeamNG would have picked up a bonus amount of money for being the fastest Panther engine. So quick out of there. So quick. finding that wall though. Well, talk about consistent. It's 35.3 and a 35.4. That's pretty consistent, I would say. Well, no, you get 100k this round. Slow motion crash. We got one. We're going to get across the line once more for the consistency. It was slow with the NOS. Can I get into the 34s, I wonder? Hang on. Good boy. Last time over the line. It's a 35.9. All within a second. All within a second. I mean, that's apps. I mean, all 3 times were the best time. We're all within a second of each other. Wow. I mean, it was... Realistically, it was astoundingly good, wasn't it? So, with that done, here's your final standings. For the fastest time, VanOnBass, the winner, with a 1:35.3. Basman's pipped right at the death. Dan gets a spot on the podium, and considering he was using the Wasp engine, that is no mean feat. Viking Cop just punched off the podium there. Right to death in the Cheetos motor and wagon, or worker, whatever it's called. BMW XC7. Steakmittens in the top 5. I imagine Steak, if I'd offered you 5th place, you would have probably taken 5th place. Trunk and the Quackmobile, a very respectable 6th. Kaz would probably be pretty happy with 7th, considering it was a randomised setup. Henderson Hummersepp right in the middle, 8th and 9th. And the Communist Soviet Fruits of Our Labour, rounding out the top 10. Then it was Singe, Chaos Uberlu, Sorandroxas, hard to say, Spoon, Gengar, Fozz Dog, and McNugget. Well, before we go, what I am going to be able to do is update where we are in terms of what actually matters, which is the money prize. So if you bear with me while I work on this Excel spreadsheet in the background, there's a reminder of the mystery prizes available today. And what I actually need is this. so I can remember what was what. So first place was, let me just move that there so you can still hear me. VanOnBass, who gets the full 750k. You know, I'm updating a spreadsheet as we go here. Second was Basman's 600, and the third was Dan. That's impressive with the Wasp engine, making more than his money back on that one. Fourth to sixth was, of course, Viking Cop, Steak, and Trunk. They all get 400k. If only I had a better way to do this live, but I don't, so just a few minutes until we get the spreadsheet sorted. 7th to 10th is 250, and that was Kaz, Hindus, Hummersepp, and Doof. And then we'll be able to bring these results up on the screen for you so you can see exactly where you sit. 11th to 15th was 100k, which is everybody down to Fozz Dog and McNugget, both of whom will be right at the back and in fact earn a fat zilch. So the one thing that we do need to then sort is the rules for the next round going forward. Because obviously some people will have earned a lot of money, some people will have earned no money. And I want to make sure that it's as fair as it can be for everybody who might have spent a bit and then be a bit low on money afterwards. So the not last award goes to Gengar, because Fozz Dog didn't make it to the line 3 times. So in terms of the mystery prizes, Gengar picks up that 75k bonus for being second last. And then we move on to the Engine Development Fund. Well, the fastest Panther doesn't count, which was VanOnBass, because that was the winning engine. So the fastest Wasp was Dan. He was the only Wasp, but he was also the fastest Wasp as well. So he earns 100k from that. Behind him, the Whale. The fastest Whale was Steakmittens. So Steakmittens gets 100k for being the fastest whale engine. I'm not just calling you a whale, if I can possibly help it. Then we have the fastest Bulldog, which was Trunk. So Trunk gets 100k for being the fastest Bulldog engine. Then we have the fastest Gorilla, which is Hummersepp. So Hummersepp gets 100k. Fastest Gorilla engine. The fastest Zebra was Singe. A reminder of the engines for you actually on the screen now. So Singe had the only Zebra engine, which gives him the fastest one of them by default. Behind that, the only other engine we had left available to us was the Sloth, and Nugget, as the only person to take the Sloth, gets 100,000 despite finishing dead last. The other thing to sort out is the consistency bonus. So who was within 5k? Well, VanOnBass was, Dan was, Hindus wasn't, Hummersepp, he was within 5 by the looks of things. Yeah. So Hummersepp gets the 100k. Kaz was within 5. Yeah. So 100k for Kaz. Spoon, I think, wasn't in the Reliant Robin. The Unreliant Robin, sorry. Steakmittens was within 5. Basman's was certainly within 5. Fozz Dog was not, unfortunately. And I think beyond that, it was just Hindus who was a fail on that count. There was actually only a few cars that were in the 10 bracket. Other than that, it was mainly 5s or bust at that point. So what does that mean for the standings? Well, sort by that column, largest to smallest. And it means I can finally bring you up the provisional overall leaderboard, which looks a bit like this. It's Trunk on top of the pile. Basically, this is unreadable. I'm going to try and center all of these. Except it won't do it for some reason. And I'm going to try and center all of them. But some of them are still being pulled through as Bulldog. And I don't know why. So this is clearly horribly broken. We will try this again, shall we? Because that clearly wasn't updating in the way that it should. I knew this would happen when I tried to do this live spreadsheet stream. You'd think I'd never done a spreadsheet stream before. So then, boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, this is all like that. So there we go. It's still Trunk at the top of the standings from Dan in second place. So Dan's cheap and cheerful approach buys him second place because of all that money he had spare, the remaining budget he had spare at the start. Done him a massive favour there. I wish all of this was centered as well, because apparently it's completely unreadable otherwise, but there you go. What can you do? Yeah, some of those that were faster. Viking Cop only down in 9th place because we spent all of the budget. Nugget up in 11th because he picked up 3rd place for designing it like a dog. And he also picked up 100k for being the only one to use a sloth engine. And because his times were within 10 seconds of each other as well. So there you go. It goes to show that Nugget's still competing, even though his car was absolutely dreadful. Chaos Uberlu actually right at the bottom, having spent a bunch, but not gone particularly quickly. But it's the mystery prizes that have done Nugget a lot of favours there. And Trunk, you can see from the main prizes, picking up a bunch of stuff as well. There we go. That's it for round 1 of the Community Time Trial Challenge. That was a lot of fun. I really, really, really hope you all enjoyed that. Who did win the Spectator's Choice? So the independent panel of basically a bunch of my friends picked Trunk as the top car, Dan as the second car, and McNugget as the third car. And then the judges' prizes was quite a lot spread around, like including Fozz Dog winning some of that, and so on and so forth. So round 2, I need to fully sit down and work out exactly how round 2 is going to work. There will be the option to build a new vehicle, so you definitely keep your company name. So Trunk will continue to compete as Mallard Motors. Dan will continue to compete as ALF and so on. But you'll have the option to build a new car if you want to. Obviously, there'll be a new course as well. So it might be that the car that you've got wouldn't be very suitable for the course. But yes, all that will be revealed, I think, in the next couple of days. I just need a little bit of time to sit down and think about it. And the reason it'll be the next couple of days is because round 2 is going to be on the 10th of December. So part 1 of that stream will be on Friday the 10th of December, which is 2 weeks away. So you've got less than 2 weeks to wait until we're back in action, which is going to make me plenty busy in building replacement cars. I think the option will be there to keep some cars, but it might be that we have to charge a bit of a premium as well from people's budgets if they want to use the same car going forward, just so that it's not, oh, I built a really strong car in the first one and now I get to enter that car for free in the second and third one. Otherwise, that would be a little bit too overpowered. And equally, those at the bottom might need a little bit of a loan system or some sort of financial boost to help them get back in the game. But there we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching, if you have been. It's genuinely been a lot of fun. It's been great fun to drive them. I was so impressed with how different all of the cars were. Obviously, some of them were complete memes. Others were really good. Like, VanOnBass's car was exceptional. Basman's car was really good. And then all of those that were in that little chunk from 3rd down to, say, 7th place were just all really, really well built. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Obviously, keep an eye on the Discord. If you want to join, you can still sign up for round 2. We can accept late joiners for sure. Discord link is there. And that will be the place to be for all the announcements and everything you'll need going into round 2 in a couple of weeks' time. But until then, and remember, you don't need to own any of the games, although I know that Dan has bought automation so that he can start tinkering with what he wants to do in that game. You've just got to fill in a Google form. I'll get that Google form up as soon as I can. And then I'll do the rest. I'll build it for you. And we'll get it entered into round 2's event. But until then, thank you very, very much for watching. That was so much fun. And you've all done amazing. Like, some brilliant ideas. Really, really good fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we come up with in a couple of weeks' time. Until then, have yourselves a good Sunday. I will be back later this evening with Assetto Corsa, like actual racing cars, later on. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we will catch you soon.